Welcome back, everybody. This is Metal Rocker 86, here at it again, reviewing another album. I think it's time to look at Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and the album Into the Great Wide Open. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers fall into the genre of Southern rock and Heartland rock. They started out in 1976 and remained active until 2017 when, very sadly, Tom Petty passed away. They released 13 studio albums as a band, and Tom Petty released 3 solo albums. Into the Great Wide Open was one of the albums with the Heartbreakers. On to the album. Into the Great Wide Open is the 8th studio album released by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and 9th overall released by Tom Petty. It was released on July 2nd of 1991, consists of 12 tracks, and altogether is about 44 minutes long. On lead vocals, guitars, keyboards, and percussions is Tom Petty. On guitars, keyboards, and backing vocals on Learning to Fly is Mike Campbell. On piano, synthesizer, and accordion is Benmont Tench. On bass guitar and backing vocals is Howie Epstein. And finally, on drums and percussions is Stan Lynch. Now on to the songs, all of which were written by Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne, except were stated otherwise. It starts with my favorite song on the album, and it was also released as a single. It's called Learnin' to Fly. The tempo here is fairly slow. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the acoustic guitars in this one, and they're very soothing. You can also hear the drums in the background. There is also an awesome solo in this song. One day, Tom Petty saw an interview with a pilot who said it wasn't hard to learn how to fly, but it was a lot harder to learn to come down, and that inspired the basic theme of this song. And it was a great song to start the album with. The tempo speeds up a bit in this next one, which was written by Tom Petty and also released as a single. It's called King's Highway. Instrumentation. The main focus here is on the guitars, and the riffs are very catchy. You can also hear the drums in the background. There is also an amazing guitar solo in this one. The song is about wanting to get out of town with your partner and awaiting the good things that are coming your way. This was another good song on the album. Things slow down as we get to the album's title song, Into the Great Wide Open, which was also released as a single. Instrumentation. You can really hear the guitars and drums in this one, and the guitars have awesome riffs. The song is about a guy who falls in love and becomes a rock star, reaching the top, realizing there's nowhere else to go. This was another really good song on the album. Things speed up a little bit in this catchy tune, which was written by Tom Petty. It's called Two Gunslingers. Instrumentation. It has some awesome acoustic guitars with a cool rhythm. You can also hear the drums in the background. The main theme of this song is just to be yourself and not try to be someone else just to impress others. This was another really good song on the album. Now we get to the Dark of the Sun, and the tempo speeds up even more. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the awesome guitars, and they're very catchy. You can also hear the drums in the background. The song is about coping with the death of a loved one and hoping they'll be waiting for you when your time comes. This was another good song on the album. This next one was also released as a single and written by Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Mike Campbell. It's called All or Nothing. This one has some very cool instrumentation. The guitar riffs used in the intro and solo are phenomenal, and the bass used in the song really stands out too. It gives off a dark mood with the lyrics and has a classic rock vibe to it. The main theme I can hear in this song is Greed, and this was another good song on the album. Things slow down a bit as we get to All the Wrong Reasons. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the very cool acoustic guitars, which I really like, and you can also hear the drums a bit in the background. This one does not sound as dark as the last one, but it has the similar theme of greed in it. The first verse is about losing everything you own, and the second verse is trying to get it back by any means necessary. This was another good song on the album. Tom Petty wrote this next one, which was also released as a single, and this is where things speed up a bit. It's called Too Good to Be True. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the rhythm guitar and acoustic guitar, and they're awesome. You can also hear the drums in the background. This one is also about greed, as it's about a girl who gets everything she wants right in front of her. This was another good song on the album. Now things really speed up in this next one, which was also released as a single. It's called Out in the Cold. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the guitars, and they give off great energy, making it a real headbanger. You can also hear the drums in the background. While this definitely sounds like a fun song, It's actually about going through hard times with nowhere to go and not being able to handle it. This was a killer track on the album. Things slow down a little here as we get to You and I Will Meet Again, which was written by Tom Petty. Instrumentation. Again, the main focus is on the guitars, and they're really cool in this one. You can also hear the drums in the background. The theme of this song is people going their separate ways, and it can be hard to say goodbye, but things will work out in the end. This was another great song on the album. Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and Mike Campbell wrote this next one. It's where things speed up and get a lot harder. It's called Making Some Noise. Instrumentation. The main focus is on the killer guitar riffs, making it another real headbanger. You can also hear the drums and percussions in the background too. The theme of this song is the life of a rock star, the work you put into getting there, and what happens when you actually get there. This was another killer track on the album. Now we get to the final song on the album. It's called Built to Last. Instrumentation. This one's a little different as the main focus is actually on the drums. But in the chorus, there are some guitars. The theme of this song is love and how sometimes it can be forever. This was an okay song, but not a song I would have finished the album with. So what did I like about this album? All the songs were very well written, and I enjoyed the lyrics in all of them. The instrumentation was also really awesome. I also liked how they had a variety of themes. Some were about becoming a rock star, others were about greed, and there were many others too. The change in tempos also blew me away. It can go from a slow song like Learning to Fly or Into the Great Wide Open to a fast headbanger like Out in the Cold or Making Some Noise. The only things that could have made the album better was when they had all those 3 songs about greed all in a row. I would have spread those ones out a bit. I also would have put Built to Last in the middle somewhere and ended with Making Some Noise. To conclude this, I will say that this album is definitely worth listening to. Well, that's the end of this review. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below, and don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, rock on!